Now that we've beaten Neverwinter Nights and the 2 expansions, Shadows of the Undrentide and Hordes of the Underdark, I wanted to make this vid to kind of give an overview of the whole experience, what it's been like playing through it again on the PS4 Pro. By the way, I stream RPGs nearly every single day. Chuck the link up on the screen there and down below. Come through if you want to join us. We've got a really great RPG community building there and a lot more people coming through from YouTube too, so definitely join in. Now I have made a before you buy video, which I'll chuck up on the screen right now, but this is going to be a little bit more of an addendum to that video. And now that we've spent approximately 120 hours with this port, there's a few more things that I wanted to discuss. Let's just get the big stuff out of the way first. This port is buggy. Now, I don't want to come across as negative, but it's buggy. It's an unacceptable level of buggy. Now, the cracks didn't really start to show, unfortunately, until I probably about halfway through the main campaign. And that's when the random blue screen crashes would happen. Just running around doing nothing in particular, boom, blue screen. To be honest, I wouldn't really be that bothered if this only happened once or twice throughout the playthrough. But the real problem comes from the fact that when you're streaming this live, it's just a pain in the bum for everyone. And I'm not gonna lie, the apprehension and waiting for the next crash was actually there. It's just not a fun way to play a game with a live audience. I literally found myself saving every few minutes just to avoid a potential loss. Now, unfortunately, I wish that was the worst thing, but it's not. Shadows of the Undrentide took all the crashes and basically ratcheted it to a whole new level. It crashed more. It crashed as I was entering buildings. There were more random crashes just walking around outside in the open. It also crashed on zone transitions. And lastly, the granddaddy. It crashed and deleted my save. Now, I got off pretty lucky. I think I only lost about 10 to 15 minutes of gameplay at that point. But I really felt for anybody who saves on one save game, you would have just lost everything. And in fact, there were a couple of people in the chat live that said as much. That would have been the end of them. Now, this was really difficult for me because I love Neverwinter Nights. I've loved Neverwinter Nights for years. But you can't really defend this stuff. Especially the deletion of the save game. Man, that was pretty much the straw that broke the camel's back. Further to this, I ended up finding another quest that I simply couldn't get past without a 100% guaranteed crash. And that was Rolgan's trial in chapter 3 of the original campaign. What's funny about this is that there's actually a trophy associated with finishing this quest. And when you check that on the PSN, lots of people have finished the quest, so it makes the bugs even more random. It's just, maybe I got unlucky, which actually feels even worse. Like, what do I do in that scenario? Do I start the game again, play through? Maybe that time I'll be able to complete the quest? How do I get a platinum trophy if I have to play through the entire game in the hopes that it won't be buggy by the time I get there? Now, we ended up devoting about 30 minutes of one of our streams to trying to find out what was causing the bug with Rolgan's trial. We tried dropping all of our inventory, we tried finishing the quest in different ways, we tried changing the UI size, we tried all kinds of things, all kinds of random stuff to try and see if it was something that we were doing, that we could check off in order to progress. To no avail. Now, one good thing about this is that I actually reached out to Beamdog and they responded pretty quickly. They gave me the link to their bug submission forum, so I did that. So let's hope some of these bugs get ironed out in future patches, because the game really deserves it. New players really deserve to check this game out and play it bug-free. Now, aside from all the random crashes, there are a couple of other things. There's only 2 sizes for the UI, and while I was initially really happy with that, as the game went on, I felt that a size right in between the 2 that were available would have been best. The small one is almost impossible to read for anybody that was watching, and it's really difficult to see if you were sitting back on a couch playing the game, which you probably would be doing on a console. The other size just dominates the entire screen, which is awesome if you're sitting back on a couch, but it's still a little bit unmanageable when you're trying to actually play the game. I would have absolutely loved an option to hide the talk bar, this little bar that's just perpetually there no matter what UI size or scale you've got it set to. It's just useless, it's just taking up space, and I never used it one single time. Now the last big bug that I wanted to discuss is actually an audio bug. Now the camera rotates around every time you go to talk to someone, or there's a cutscene, if you will. The camera rotates around to a specific point of view. At that point of view, the audio is solely coming out of the left-hand side of your headphones or your headset or your left-hand side speaker due to the directional sound. And it's always like that every single time, every single cutscene. And I could not figure out a way to fix that. So if anybody does know, feel free to let me know in the comments. Now finally, I just wanted to add, my experience with this apparently is not that typical. There's lots of people who have played through with almost no bugs. So I don't really know what to say, I'm at a loss. Anyway guys, that's about it. I know that this video was more of a kind of a complaints video, but I just felt that my before you buy vid just didn't really encapsulate the buggy side of it. And I really don't want to, for my channel to misguide or mislead anybody. As much as I would love to say that Neverwinter Nights is the greatest game and I love this game and it's worth every penny that you pour into it, this just isn't. It's not what I wanted it to be. It needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of bug fixes to make it worth the money, especially at full price. What was your experience like playing through this game? Anybody out there play through this on the Switch, PS4, any other platform? Was it buggy? Were you guys able to get the platinum trophy? Let me know. I'd be really curious.